This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Rescue Agent for Josette by Jenna Brandt. His homecoming was exactly what Rescue Agent Ryland Stark expected. When he arrived back in Faraday, Louisiana, after a 15-year absence, people remembered him just as much for his surprisingly sudden departure for the Army as his football championship-winning senior year. "Here you go, Ryland." The pretty blonde from behind the counter flirtatiously smiled at him as she handed him his cup of black java. From the way she was staring at him all doe-eyed, he knew his charm still remained firmly intact. "You want a cinnamon roll to go with your coffee? I made them fresh this morning." For the life of him, he couldn't remember the woman's name, though she'd been serving him coffee for the past few days. She had made it a point to let him know that they'd gone to high school together. There was an easy enough solution to dodge admitting that, though. "Why, I don't mind if I do, darlin'," he drawled with his southern accent, as he gave her a wink, avoiding using her name in the process. She opened the display case and pulled out one of the pastries. "You want it warmed up?" "I don't want to be a bother," he said with a shrug, causing his dark hair to swish with the movement. Ryland rubbed his hand across his matching dark stubble, debating whether he was going to ask her out for his Thursday night opening on his dating roster. "They're better warm," she insisted, as she spun around and placed it in the microwave behind her. "I promise you're going to love it." "If it's coming from you, I'm sure I will, darlin'." The smooth words glided off his tongue like water off a duck's back. He'd perfected the art of flirting over the years, knowing with how much he traveled for work with the Wild Animal Protection Agency, it was better to keep things casual from each of his assignment locations. He never committed to one woman, refusing to get trapped in a relationship. While the cinnamon roll heated up, the barista opened a glass container on top of the counter and pulled out a brown treat shaped like a bone. She came around the corner and handed it to Phoenix, Ryland's Belgian Malinois partner, who was obediently sitting by his side. "Here you go, girl, enjoy the treat," the woman coaxed. Ryland wanted to object to the woman feeding the search and rescue K9, knowing Phoenix needed a strict diet to keep her in shape for her job. Since he wanted to ask her out on a date, however, he refrained. Phoenix looked up at Ryland, waiting for him to give the signal that he approved. He gave a nod, giving Phoenix permission to gobble up the treat. The barista went back around and removed the cinnamon roll from the microwave. As she handed him the pastry, Ryland decided to make his move, displaying his most enticing grin. "You in the mood to play some pool Saturday night?" He already knew what her answer was going to be, but he politely waited for her to confirm it. "Why, Ryland, I can't think of anything I'd rather do," the blonde cooed, placing her hand on his as she batted her eyelashes at him. She quickly recited her cell number so he could put it in his phone. He made a note by her name to keep her straight from his other dates that week. 10 minutes later, he arrived back at the WAPA facility. He glided into the office and nonchalantly threw himself into his chair behind his desk. Phoenix took her spot in the dog bed right beside him. "I see you finally decided to grace us with your presence. Finished reminiscing about your glory days with Vanjie?" Rescue Agent Corbin Granger snidely questioned as he glared at the other man. Ryland masked his surprise that Granger remembered the barista's name when he hadn't been able to. That is, until he asked for the spelling when he put it in his phone. "I know you think you're special, but none of us care that you're a local ex-football star." "Sure seems like you care. Never seen someone so invested in someone else's comings and goings," Ryland countered, his dark brows arching above his brown eyes. He folded his arms behind his head and leaned back in his chair, enjoying getting under the other agent's skin. "Are you jealous that all the ladies are more interested in me? Must sting. Not only are you stuck in a small southern town with not a lick of snow in sight, but your glory days as a professional snowboarder mean diddly around here." "No, I could care less. This is just a stop on my way to my goal assignment in Alaska. Unlike you, I have plans that involve more than floating from one WAPA facility to the next." You focus more.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.